Hey y'all, it's Vana. I haven't made a video in a long time because I've been very busy with work, but I did have the evening off. I don't really have anything planned other than to clean my room, which is a long time coming. But I just wanted to show you guys a quick video on how to make a scrying mirror, which it's very easy to make, so easy in fact that I'm not going to do it with you to demonstrate how to do it. I'm just going to show you what you need and tell you how to do it. Basically all you need is black paintbrush, and you can go to the dollar store or Walmart and then just get a basic picture frame. Doesn't matter how big, doesn't matter how small. I'm using this one, ow. I'm using this one. But basically all you're going to end up doing is taking out the glass. Ow. Okay. And then you paint one side of it with the black paint. Just paint it completely black, solid. Make sure there's not a lot of paintbrush marks, anything like that. You want a nice clear coat so when you turn it around, it's just a completely black piece of glass. Then you put it back into the picture frame. Pretty easy so far. So this is a process that probably only takes like, I don't know, 15 minutes for it, the paint to dry and all that. Alright, then you close it up. And I say you get a picture frame with a stand so that you don't have to like lean it on anything, you can just kind of set it up. But the idea with a scrying mirror is that once it's painted completely black, it's reflective in a dark way, so it doesn't just reflect everything. What you're going to do is I prefer cast a circle first, get into the circle, light a couple of candles, not a ton, you don't want it to be too light, you want it to be pretty dark. Then you set the mirror up and you stare into it, and you have to get into a good sort of a meditative state so that you're in the right frame of mind to be able to perform divination. That's what you're doing. You're trying to see the future or just answers on the present or past. You can look at this as a way to communicate with spirits if you focus your energy that way. You can also just look at it as a way of divination, just to tell the future. So you sit in front of it, you get into the right frame of mind. You all have your own tricks. Me personally, I just meditate for about 15 minutes. I get really calm, quiet all the noise in my head, and that's really hard to do, by the way. I've always got like 20 things going at the same time. But you sit down and try to get the mirror to a point where it's not like showing the flame, because that's kind of distracting. But eventually you're staring into the scrying mirror and you'll start to see shapes and figures, and it'll give you your answers. So you can ask a specific question like, will I get the job I applied for? Something like that. Based on what shape you see, you can interpret it in any way that you want, any way that you feel is correct. Not one way of interpreting, one way of interpreting it is your way, and then that's completely right, as long as you believe it, and as long as you think, hey, this makes sense to me, that's correct. But somebody else may see the same figure and think something completely opposite, and they're right. So I think it's okay to look at guides on the internet and say, or, internet, books, whatever it might be, and just say, the wolf stands for X, the human stands for blah. It's okay to do that, but I say look at the figures and interpret them yourselves. That's the best way to do it. Sorry, it's a little shaky. That's the best way to get the most accurate reading. So once you're sitting here with your scrying mirror, you can make out all the shapes. Once you feel you have a good reading, you can just kind of close circle and go from there. This is actually the same thing. If you have a black or dark bowl, you can fill it with water and just look into that. This is kind of where crystal balls come in too. You can look into crystal balls, do the same thing. Scrying is actually really across the board. You can do it in anything. I've heard some people can they just look at the trees and the leaves and the wind, and based on how they're moving, they can do that. Blades of grass, you can do that. Clouds, yeah, there's a lot. I'm sure there's more that I can't even think about right now. So basically you get the point. The scrying mirror is just one way of scrying, and also what I was going to say about communicating with spirits, basically you're going to do the same thing I just said, except sit here, stare into the mirror, and channel whatever spirit you're wanting to communicate with, or just say if there's any spirits that want to communicate with me, this is the time. open yourself up, open your mind, and kind of focus on speaking with spirits, whether it's someone specific or not, that's up to you. And then you will see the same thing, you'll see figures and shapes, and you have to be patient though, and especially the first few times you do it, you have to be really, really patient. It's even hard for me to get a clear reading, and I've done it quite a few times, but with scrying, it does take patience to get past the first parts of, it's like a mental roadblock that you have to just climb over, and eventually, once you get over that roadblock, it's clear sailing. It's a lot quicker, and you don't have to spend as much time or energy focusing on it. But I think it's a really good way to kick everything off as far as divination and communicating with spirits. The scrying mirror is great because it's a flat surface. There's not much room for interpretation besides, you know, whatever's behind you. But I think it's a good place to start. So go down to the dollar store, go down to Walmart, get yourself a picture frame, take it out, paint the back of it black, and then just turn it around, put it back in, and cast a circle, meditate, focus on what you want or need, and you're good to go. Pretty simple. It's probably even longer than I needed it to be, but hey, you have all the information you need. If you have any questions, let me know. I think that's all I have for you today. Oh, and before I go, because I think she might watch this, if she does, I just want to give a shout out to my cousin Jessie, who has recently began the transition, I should say, into a woman, and I am very, very proud of her for stepping up and doing what she believes and just being who she is, who she's always been, and just trying to match what's on the outside with what's on the inside. I think she's beautiful, and I think she's doing a great job. I love you, Jessie. Bye.